Now we are going to study phanerogams. When I say phanerogams, that means they have a specialized organs or specialized structure for reproduction, and they produce seeds, and they are called as phanerogams. In this plant, the process of reproduction, the seeds are formed, which contains the future plant. That means which contains the embryo and the stored food. Now, this type is called as phanerogams. When the seed is sown inside the soil, these seeds will germinate. So, during germination of the seed, the stored food which is present inside the seed is used for its initial growth of the embryo, and hence a new plant is formed. So, they reproduces sexually with the help of a sexual reproductive part inside them, either cones or either flowers. Depending upon whether the seeds are enclosed or seeds are visible, the phanerogams are classified into further two types called as angiosperm and gymnosperm. First, we are going to study about division first, that is gymnosperm. Now, gymnosperm means naked seeds. Now, when I say gymnosperms, they are mostly evergreen, perennial, and they are woody. See, for the best example of gymnosperm is the pine tree. The best example of gymnosperm is the cycas. Now, when I say perennial and woody, the stem are without branch. That means there will be one single stem, and at the tip over here, you can see here there are a lot of leaflets coming out. Now, this leaf forms like a crown-like structure. So, leaf forms a crown. The plant bears the male and female flowers on different sporophyll of the same plants. Now, these are nothing but called as cones. Now, if I see further about gymnosperm, some of these plants do not have natural covering over itself. Now, the plant which do not have natural covering over itself, they are called as gymnosperm. Now, gymno means naked and the sperms means seeds. So, here it is called as gymnosperms. Now, let us study few examples of gymnosperm. The first one is cycas, second one is piscia, third one is thuja, and the fourth one is pinus. Now, further we are going to study the second division called as angiosperm. Now, angiosperm is called as, why it is called as angiosperm? Because the seeds are encapsulated, that means they are enclosed inside the fruit. And the specialized structure for reproduction is nothing but flower. The flower of these plants bears are the reproductive organs of the plant. Let us study angiosperm, that how flower develops into a fruit and how the seeds are formed into the fruits. Now, in angiosperm, the male reproductive part, that is the male part, and the female part is enclosed inside the flower. And after the transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma, when the pollen germinates, it goes and fuses the ovule, and hence it results in the formation of a new plant. And when the seed is formed, we germinate the seed and a new plant is formed. The seed is covered, hence they are called as angiosperm, because it is covered with the help of a fruit. Now, we are going to study about angiosperm in further detail. The plants whose seeds can be divided into two halves. For example, like the example is seed of a mango. A mango seed can be cut into two halves. It is called as dicotyledon plant. Now, the seeds whose seeds cannot be cut into two halves is called as monocotyledon plants. For example, the seed of a rice, seed of the wheat, seed of a corn. That seed comes under monocotyledon plant. But the seed of a mango comes in dicotyledon plant. Now, further we are going to study the difference between dicotyledons and monocotyledons. When I say monocot, that means they have only one single cot. And when I say dicot, that means the seed can be divided into two cotyledons. So, here the first part is the seeds, that is dicot, they have two cotyledon plant seeds, and in monocot it is only single cotyledon. When you see the root structure over here, the root of dicot is taproot, that means they are very well developed. One single root goes inside the soil, and there are many fine roots that emerges out of that taproot, that is secondary roots. And when you see the structure of a monocot plant over here, the roots are fibrous. That means it doesn't go that deep inside the soil, but they are fibrous. This branch once it enters inside the soil. Next, we are going to study the stem. The stem of the dicot plant, the best example is mango tree or a banyan tree. the stem is strong and hard. Whereas when you see the stem of the monocot, they are hollow, and the best example is the banana tree. If you see, the stem is very soft and hollow, bamboo tree, and disc-like example is onion. The next we are going to see the leaf reticulate venation. Now in dicotyledon plant, there are different venation that is called as reticulate venation. If you see this leaf structure, there are many fine branches on the leaf, for example in hibiscus. When I say about monocotyledon plants, the venation runs parallel, the lines run parallel. If you see the example of a leaf of a banana, the lines are parallel. When you observe the leaf of a hibiscus, the lines are branched. So when I say the parallel lines, it is called as parallel venation, and branched venation is called as reticulate venation. And now we are going to study the flower petals. Now in dicotyledon plants, there are 5 petals, it is called as pentamerous, or it can be the multiple of 5, it is called as tetramerous. In monocot plant, the flower petals will be either 3 parts or in the multiple of 3, it is also called as trimerous. So here we have completed the plant kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae is divided into cryptogams and phanerogams. The subdivision is Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, and in phanerogams it is divided into gymnosperm and angiosperm. Subdivision of angiosperm is dicot and monocot.